again.
I was gonna say they need some like super hard and this TV just fits that again. But it's almost like they knew it was coming because this Batrider pick is so good.
It is. It demolishes Terrorblade in red lane. This is going to be an impossible lane for Terrorblade once again. It's just Batrider is just a fantastic pick against it.
It also absolutely destroys Nature's Prophet in the lane as well because it just clears through the trees really easily.
Yep.
He can even take Flame Break at level 2, I think, in this lane on Batrider. And just run at the Terrorblade without Napalm. The way that the Flame Break works on Batriders, some people don't realise that the Napalm ticks through every half a second. So the bonus damage that you get on Napalm isn't every second, it's every half a second. So on this like low HP hero, like TV just melts so quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage that Batrider can apply. Then again, is this the best draft from Finem we've seen today? Is this going to lead them into victory and stretch to game 3?
I mean, I really liked their draft in game 2 that they stomped in the series. So don't ask me because I don't know what's going on apparently. But yeah, I like their draft in this game. I think it's pretty good. But again, I think it's all about this team fight though. Like, how much can the Wyvern do? How much can the Mag-Void do? And if the Batrider just crushes his laning stage though, that kind of chucks everything else out the window. I'm interested to see if they can get the Legion in a 1v1 against the Bat instead.
Yeah.
Could be a good answer.
Well, let's see if Finem has it what it takes, because this is either their last opportunity, or they can buy one more, maybe even a couple more if they win the next 2 games in a row. But they have to surpass this one first if they wish to stay and keep their hopes alive for that minor spot. Because only the top team out of the 4, which are Enigma, Finem, Viking, and Singularity, will advance to play in Bukovel in Ukraine. Have you been to Ukraine before?
I've not actually, no. I'd quite like to go to Ukraine. I've been to Russia, but yeah, never to Ukraine. I've been to Poland as well, and Hungary, and some like little bits of countries in the east of Europe. But yeah, Ukraine's not one that I've managed to venture to yet.
Yeah, that could be cool to be checking out Ukraine. I mean, what I was told when I was planning on going to Serbia, not this summer, but I think the last year's summer, was that the food that they make there is pretty simple. So it's somewhat similar to like food in Finland. We like very basic food with like, 2 or 3 main ingredients, and that's it. Like, the less spice, the better. Of course, we have people who love spicy food in here, but in general, we love basic foods. I've heard Ukraine, Serbia, like East Bloc countries, kind of have the same kind of culture when it comes to food.
And then you come to England, and we just don't know what's going on with food. We're just all over the place.
Bacon and beans.
Bacon, fish and chips, mate. It's just,
I remember I used to live in England when I was 5 years old. That's basically why my accent isn't quite as heavy as most of the Finns.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I've actually lived 5 years abroad, but I'm born and raised in Finland, so it makes it a bit different. I lived in Cyprus when I was less than a year old, so technically I have some Greek in me.
Whereabouts did you live in the UK when you lived here?
I was in High Wycombe, between Oxford and London.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I was there for 2 years.
I've been there a lot.
I did my time in the primary school.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like 6, I told my parents, can we speak English at home as well? And then they were like, yeah, sure. We came back to Finland when I was 7, and I got bullied because I couldn't speak a single word in Finnish. I'm like, who's this freak? What is he talking? Anyway, we're holding on a pause. Not quite sure what is happening. Singularity took a 2-minute break. That is acceptable. At least not as bad of a situation that happened. Was it in the major qualifiers for when in South America? The whole case with what was the team again?
SCA.
Signal or SCA? Yeah, SCA. That was Signal versus TNC. And there was a typhoon in the country at the same time, so I think that was causing most of the players to drop out. Obviously, TNC was leading the game, the so-called decisive game, But still, he could have, you know, it's a big opportunity and you missed it because you couldn't do anything about it.
It's just a sad situation, right? Like, yeah. Like, it's really annoying for everybody, but, you know, we have to keep the schedules for everything because there's the minor as well. You can't just... Yeah. It's a rubbish situation.
Well, let's get back into this one. The on-pauses are thrown out. We've got a 2-man smoke. 3-man smoke even heading towards the bot lane. It's Aina playing the Winter Wyvern, the guy with the Lina last game. Dazzle, very good ward placement. However, doesn't see the smoke coming.
This is gonna sting.
Is he gonna find him? He sees Aina. And now they see the Dazzle. But he doesn't see the 2 others.
Has he got an orb? No, he doesn't.
Would be awkward if he was dropping really low and he'd be forced to level up Grave at level 1.
Oh no, I think if you just let yourself die rather than do, like, you don't want to ruin your laning stage by leveling Grave at level 1. It's like when you play Rubik and people level the bounty room. It's just not worth it.
Singularity is stacking around the mid lane. This is gonna open up a couple bounty spots. They are gonna contest bottom. They're actually getting 3. DNZ is getting the topside river rune, and MNT will be the only bounty picker here for at Finem.
But both teams don't like this. TB versus Batrider matchup's too important. So Zitch actually like waiting for Batrider to show in the lane, go, and then like Radiant are just doing the same. It's just musical lanes.
So we got Magnus versus Razor. How do you think this is gonna go? And Taki versus Excalibur.
That's not right. That's not right.
Skewer under the tower. Oh, he's just going for the range creep blasting. That's smart. Smart and important.
Ooh. Oh, he only lost 34 damage instead of 35 on the mag. Nice. 35 the max at level 1.
1 damage differential. Woohoo!
Look at these cores as well. They're just doing the same things still. Everybody's just running up and down the river.
They are, and it's weird to see that the support Lina is going up against the support Nature's Prophet in the top lane.
The supports are farming.
The supports are farming, and the cores are just neglecting what's happening. I think this is the first time. Usually, you always have 1 core sitting in the lane. Like, I'll TP when necessary, but no, it's just the support sitting here getting all the XP and the farm. This must be like, you know, if you're a support player, are you a support or a core player, Mofar? Yeah. Because I was just thinking that you don't really get to see these opportunities that often, that you get yourself some free XP and free farm as a supporter this early on. This is like, you know, game made out of the heavens. With Spartan's actually dropped really low here. Yes, to Joe and Aina. Yes, Joe's actually sitting on half of his HP. Getting a bit of harass from the Dazzle. DNC now TPs to the top lane. Feels like a repeat from last game where Citrax is just struggling to find farm, but we already saw this happening in the draft, that this Batrider is just going to make his life a real living hell. Trying to farm is a terror bleed, and especially when your lane is pushed out so far. There's just nothing you can do about it. Ducky and Excalibur still pretty 50-50 here in terms of farm. Thug is now being initiated on. Joe's actually dropped very, very low. Spartan gets hit by overwhelming odds, and LC surviving with 40 HP. Aina keeps on trading hits with Thug. Spartan still has a salve and a mango. Uses the mango. Just need a couple good hits. Yeah, they could break the clarity of the Wyvern.
Well, I mean, Hester Joe has no salve in this lane. So what does he do?
Yeah, he's like out of region completely. Courier coming into mid. Excalibur won't be able to hit that one this time. Citrax, well, he's been able to catch up to 6 last hits, but it's almost like a repeat from the previous game. hit level 3 and
Spartan.
go to jungle while Spartan dies in the bottom lane.
He was hanging behind his tower, but a creep wave flew and they used overwhelming odds and splinter blast at the same time. And he just blew up. Poor guy.
The Singularity get the first blood as well in this game, as they did in the previous one. M&T already level 3, when the Batrider's sitting at level 2. DNZ he's comfortable enough to stay in this lane. But we'll see, once Batrider starts ramping up those levels, it's gonna be really hard for him to stay there either. I feel like, do they just abandon this top lane?
Yeah, 100%. Like, Batrider gets level 3 in the lane. So, you just preemptively go to the jungle. Just fine.
Let me do a little magic trick here.
Ooh.
This will do just fine.
Alright.
They TP'd Nature's Prophet bottom. They kill off Spartan again.
Yeah, I was just resetting the server on Discord to see if it actually does something.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, indeed. I want to hear your pretty voice. I like it.
No, nobody cares what I've got to say anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, don't say that. You're making my job, like, so much easier.
Everyone in Twitch chat thinks you can flame me. Joke's on you, because I just flame myself, so...
Well, you might remember a gentleman called Potom. He always used to flame me when we were doing casting. I was like, dude, I told him on a break, like, can you stop with the salt, man? I'm trying to cast a game here, and always when there's a pun, he's always throwing stuff at me. Well, there's probably a reason why we don't cast anymore. Might be something else. Anyway, 5 minutes now into the game. Bounty runes have been split 3-1 for Finem, and we've got 2 kills by Singularity. So we're seeing some very chill moments in the game as DNZ gets initiated on the bottom lane, and Thug not able to close in the kill, but Spartan will. And that's the first kill for the Greeks.
Yeah, this mag's farming really well, though. Like, he's just jungling in between.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
That's the power of the Empower. Let's actually show it to all you guys about the damage that this guy actually ramps up.
Ooh.
There's a lot of stuff that you get from that.
The TV's come bot, and the
Oh,
Radiant
Spartan
just
getting blocked in the trees by the Trents. Oh, he does have Tango to get out, though. That could have been very crucial there. But yeah, TV is now in bot.
I don't know why the Batrider's not matching the rotation, but Pester Joe's in trouble still. Up in
Yeah,
top
I
lane.
guess he's just finding a kill, you know, enjoying his time. Purges the napalm stacks, but still gonna get burnt down. A very awkward spot to be in between 2 fiery heroes.
I feel like you're just letting the TB farm, though, by not matching him up against the Batrider in the lane.
Faces forward, jumps into the trees. Aina still wants to keep up the chase, and there's a TP coming in, and that Sprout will reveal both heroes. That's M&T seeing DNZ.
Oh, Thug's couriered. Dies as... Again, this is just bad micro, courier micro, because he's too busy focusing on himself in the trees.
And Thug is dead. Perfect blocks
Here
here.
comes the Batrider, though. This guy's gonna...
Excalibur gets a solo kill on Spartan as well. DNZ is low. DNZ will finally be taken down by Skylark. Citrax doesn't have a quick heal for himself. Skylark still wants to keep up this chase. He's level 6, hasn't leveled up last, so, you know, he could get a lot of napalm stacks and throw that one crucial flame break. I don't think he gets the opening for it.
Oh, the Sprout kind of misses.
I love how he's using the Trent microing. It's just so on point. Finishes off the kill for Aina on the Winter Wyvern. The Splinter Blast. Make sure they get that kill happened.
Dial's top tower is being attacked.
Now Thug is alone in this top lane with Spartan. Skylark still rotating around the LC. Still hasn't leveled up his level 6 ability. And now it's a 4 versus 1. They're looking for the Batrider. Waited for the Firefly to run out, and he's trying to do his best. And he is doing some very nifty moves here. Magnus is now deciding to join the fight, but Spartan TP's in first, so Magnus is pulled back a bit. But now, here we go. Shockwave onto DNZ. Does get healed up by the LC, and still waiting. RP's down, up in 10 seconds. And And Skylark is still dodging these 3 heroes. And now M&T comes into the fight. Have Singularity overstayed their welcome because the lasso is leveled up, but he doesn't have the mana for it. He needs like 8 more mana to be able to lasso Zitrax, but Zitrax goes down. And at Finem, Singularity, however, starts to get some damage. And the Spartan he's willing to take the bullet for the team. And M&T, he runs out. The one Batrider TPs away, but they will lose in Taki and Spartan. But they take down the Terrorblade.
I love how this whole bot lane has just been which top boss can turn up. And it's like the Void's down here and he's like, okay, and then the TV turns up, and the team's like, okay, this is fine. And Batrider turns up and Bat's like, okay, I'm the top dog now. And Magnus turns up and then Razor turns up at the end. And Razor's like, I'm the top of the food chain. This is as good as it's gonna get, guys. Like, that's such a lot of wasted time by Mag as well. Like, this hero that can farm so fast in the jungle is just like running around bot lane instead of not really achieving anything.
Yeah, that is very punishing.
It makes space for Thug up in the top lane, which is nice, so he's catching up again.
And DNC survives with 15 HP. The tips for Skylark. I think this is a retaliation for everybody tipping the Terrorblade when the first blood happened in the last game. Yo, that was actually at Finem who got the first blood on the TB in game 1. So now they return the favor.
This battle is going BOTs first as well, which is okay. Like, you're playing against Prophet, you're playing against TB as well. You just want to have that ability to be able to split push yourself.
Yep.
And if you get them around this 10-minute mark, it's always a decent timing.
Yeah, and they're going to split the outpost one by one by the looks of it. Skylark is feeling a bit frisky here. Got people showing up on his lane, but bounties will spawn and outposts are now also available. It will be a 2 for 2 and an outpost on each side. I thought like the 10-minute mark would kind of be where the big battles happen at the outpost, you know? Because of the XP boost, and there's also a bounty rune waiting, especially when you have stuff like Chronosphere on your Void. Even if you don't really have that much damage to throw in and get the biggest out of it. And Taki, RP onto the Razor, stun connection, Lina ultimate, and blown up.
I just want to go back to your point though about those outposts, because in most games I would agree, most teams fight, but both the safe lane tier 1s have disappeared. And trying to defend an outpost that you can't TP next to your tier 1 to get to is really difficult. So
yeah, that's a fairly good point. Then tier 1s are down, and the shrines are too far away for engaging early enough.
Void's building Midas, by the way, as well.
That's like the first Midas we've seen today.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I just don't like Midas in general. I think it's just a personal preference thing. I understand why people build it, but
I mean, you could easily just go for a Maelstrom and Void, but instead he wants to get the Midas.
He's probably going to go for both though, right? Like, he wants to match the farming tempo of the Terrorblade, so just goes for this Midas early on.
Talking about answers on the Terrorblade, now at Finem they have Lina with the capability of building an Axe later on in the game, just get that huge nuke damage to blow up the Terrorblade while he's lassoed or inside the Chronosphere. You've got RP, you have so much lockdown. So it doesn't even matter if Face's Void is with Entaki, the only physical damage dealers, because you've got so much burst around it, plus the minus armor. It's not great against the Terrorblade, but it's a slight benefit.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I am worried for this TV though in general. He's not having anywhere near as good of a game as last time. Look at this Batrider just running at him. The thing is, you don't even have to kill the Terrorblade. Just stop letting him feel safe. Like last game, he just did whatever he wanted the whole time, right? And this game, he has to be so scared like, everywhere he goes.
Exactly.
This Batrider has BOTs. Talking about Batrider.
Skylark is gonna go down. I was actually looking at DNZ TPing at the bottom lane, but I didn't see Excalibur was already there. So Singularity score a kill. I can take a quick look at the graphs 12 minutes in. It doesn't really tell us anything because the game is fairly tied. And we haven't actually taken a single look at win probability because I hate this graph, but it's telling Dire with a 62% chance to win. I guess it's because they're online right now, because Razor wants to fight. Razor just wants to fight the whole time. LC is ready to follow up. You've got +1 for ganks, and a really good Winter's Curse here, and Dazzle will fall, and MNT is forced to back away. Slark, however, or Skylark, more like, not Slark.
Yeah, I mean, the game looks good at the moment for the Dinos, because this Void needs time to come online, right? Like in the end game scenario, this Void should be the hardest hitting carry. Yeah, like Void, TV's really strong, but like Void has Chrono, like he has BKB, he can just hit whatever he wants. Yeah, there's a Wyvern, so they have to deal about that as well, but there's a Batrider in the game, like they have answers. But yeah, this Mag needs a little bit of time to get his Ags and come online. Void needs time, Batrider's gone bots first, like they don't really have any fighting items at the moment, so just naturally their engagements and team fighting are gonna be weak.
3-man smoke now coming in from the Radiant side. Skylark, MNT, and Spartan both all heading towards the top side. They've got a fair amount of items. They've got the Boots of Travels on the Batrider, and with the smoke, he's a really fast hero, especially once he pops that Firefly. That plus 20% movement speed. I think Batrider's almost max movement speed, 523. But this ward on this cliff, it's revealing this smoke from Skylark, and he is completely ignored. They just run away, and that's it.
They'll probably see it now. They'll probably know it's there now. So they'll probably look to try and de-ward that as soon as they can. I think Spartan probably has Sentry. Yeah, he has a Sentry coming out in the courier now.
And another smoke. I don't think they suspect another one coming right their way. LC and the Razor in the jungle, and all 5 heroes from Finem. Winter Wyvern is coming in to interrupt this, but Skylark is waiting. So Winter Wyvern's TP will be cancelled. Excalibur goes down. The lasso onto Hesjo, and they will take down the LC as well. And we have a pause, and I wonder what is the cause of this pause. Discord is lagging. Hey, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, I bet they're just like doing a little chant in their group at the moment. They're like, get the
boys, we did it.
They're like, come on, guys, like, head in a circle, come on.
Yeah, you know, like a pep talk. We're taking a little time out, you know. Coach giving them a little talk there. You did fine, guys, but we still got a mountain to climb. Are there any mountains in Greece? I think there are.
There was a tournament once, and I can't remember which one it was. No, it was a long time ago, and they allowed for courses.
Are we talking? Oh yeah. We're talking about the wrestling competitions.
Yeah. There was a tournament where I remember Kyle was a captain of one of the teams, and he was the only person that used it.
Oh,
that was amazing.
I wonder if actually if there's somebody who knows. I would like to know if there's any Greek chance that people go. Like, you probably have them in the UK. We have a couple here in the Finland, in Finland.
We're chant masters. That's why ESL Birmingham is so good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are banterous bastards.
Yeah, we just chant at the football all day, and then everybody comes to ESL Birmingham, and we just unleash
the beast, indeed. That's why we like you guys. You're so full of banter.
We just chat rubbish. Well, that's what I do, at least, anyway.
7-10 on the scoreboard, and Finem need to win this game to keep the series up alive. 15 minutes already passed, and the net worth and XP are still tied up. And Zitrax, he was already really close to getting his man to 16 minutes in last game. Now he's a bit behind.
But he's
not on top of net worth this time.
It's a harder TV game.
No, MNT in trouble though.
You know what?
Really good use of the curse.
It's because he didn't find PMS Iron Talent and Ring of Aquila this game. Yep. That's probably it.
I like Spartan's sponsor.
Oh, what is
it fits really well. It's blah 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 blah. Pause the game. I thought that's something he was saying in chat first when he paused the game, but
I think I think Lena might die here. I'm just putting it out.
Contemplating?
There.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
Press 1 in chat if you think Lena dies. 2 Oh, well done to all the ones. It was a really difficult one.
Yeah, you never gave them the second option, so duh.
Yeah. That's because they didn't need a second option.
Exactly. Void's got the money for his Maelstrom. Excalibur quickly rotating towards the top lane with a TP. Here comes the Duelist. How quickly is Razor going to get here? Don't even need him. You've got Zitrax to back you up. And here we go with the tips again. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect that to happen. Otherwise, why would he walk on the high ground here?
Oh yeah, he
right next to the enemy shrine. Like, there's definitely no Zitrax farming here.
To be fair, he's been sitting up here for a long time and not been contested. So it had to happen eventually, right? Like.
Yeah. Oh, now they're going to return the favor. There's the lasso, the TB, and the RP. Just make sure you don't get sundered. That's a quick, important kill.
That's a safe play. I like that. Might as well just make sure you get the kill.
Yeah, the positive side for Finem is that these ultis aren't that long of a cooldown. Lasso's up in 80. RP, of course, is 2 minutes. But it's a 2 minutes, you know, TB is not farming. You have time to farm for yourself. You still have Chronosphere, so it's not like you're completely out of the game if the enemy decides to make an aggressive move. And I'm pretty sure Singularity know that as well. The threat of the Chronosphere is big, especially once you have Maelstrom ready. Because it really ramps up Thug's damage dealing. And they have a smoke on Dazzle, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. Or not. I might be wrong this time. No, I mean, I've seen a lot of cases. You see an item that is really like core or crucial for the hero, you just go an instant smoke, because they were stacked up for a smoke. They were definitely preparing for it, but I'm not sure if they got the required information. The Singularity seems to be stacked up in this top side of the map entirely. There's nothing happening in bot. They don't even have any vision in bot. And Spartan he is smoked up, and his smoke will pop, and now Thug getting ultied. ENZ right next to him. Gotta be careful that you don't get all chronoed.
Oh, he missed it! He missed the both!
Oh my... Let me bite my fist.
What a disaster.
Oh.
He was so close to hitting them both and didn't hit either of them.
And the Lina stun came just too late to catch the NP. Whew. Well, we've seen that happen. Singularity is now experiencing the lack of Chronosphere on Finem, but they do have Lasso and the RP back off cooldown.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, they missed the Chrono, and then they still have two really good teammates.
Yep, they can still find kills with at least one of their ultis. That hurts.
Nagus picked up a blink now as well, which is very nice for him.
This is also something that I really like, that they didn't rely that the lasso itself would be enough to kill the Nature's Prophet, so they always bring a sentry when you're going to gank someone. You know, they're very triggering and very annoying when you see somebody go for this awesome gank and someone has a Glimmer Cape or, you know, Invis Rune or whatever they use to get away, and then you have no detection to finish off the kill.
Top outpost.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same here as Excalibur.
They're both taken by the Dire.
Yeah. And they stole it just in time. There's no Chronosphere. There's an RP, however.
Yes.
And a perfect ulti here from Wyvern, allowing Razor to pop the BKB and disengage from this battle, but they're still coming at their heels. 25 seconds for the lasso to be available while they are pressuring the mid lane as this top chase is still happening. Batrider has to eventually give up this chase, and DNZ manages to push in the mid lane, but this is all time for Zitrax.
Still space, isn't it? You should just keep your TB farming, but the problem is you're playing against Empower, so the TB's farming, but Finem are farming better.
Still, I like the way that they're using these ultis. They're not like, let's throw everything as a big wombo combo. They're using them separately. You've got Lasso for pickoffs, you've got RP as a backup, and Chrono is like your main team fight ability.
Yeah, the problem is Wyvern wants to be able to curse both, right? Like the RP and the Chrono, but only going to have it available for one, so if you just don't overlap the two big skills, you still have very good team fight potential.
Plus, a good curse can also allow the TB to just sunder the enemy and get health back, and maybe even kill the target because it gets cursed. And Thug. Oh no, Excalibur just revealed himself. It was a quick reaction moment, but not fast enough.
They have to, like, why is Excalibur running in first? Like, why is he at the front of the pack there? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it should be the Wyvern going in first.
You know, like if Legion had a blink, he could go first. Like, they just don't have good lockdown on this entire side, so having to set up with Curse would feel really bad.
Yeah. I actually, now talking about chance reminded me of that Awu.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Chrono's back up again, by the way.
Yeah.
So watch out.
There's a pipe on LC,
Lasso.
and that pipe might be able to save him. Chrono, what the hell, Thug?
What was that?
What was that? That is into a dual thing. No, okay, the Dazzle Grave will save him for now. He will die eventually, or will he? Gets a lot of help from that jump, however. And Terrorblade in trouble. The RP, they take down Zitrax, and it's not a complete disaster. The Chronosphere was just a bait, and Entaki taking the battle with Hestajo. He misses the skewer, but he's still continuing the battle here, and he's happy to take a one-on-one versus DNZ, while Aina gets taken down by Skylark, and the stun connecting onto Excalibur. There's no lasso, there are no ultimates available here for Finem. And Entaki slaps down the Legion Commander. He's got his axe ready. Let the pushing party begin. He's just pushing people wherever he wants, whatever he wants to do. He catches Excalibur, and it's a team wipe.
Doesn't it?
Mofara with the worst chrono I've ever seen at Finem pull it off.
Now, there's sometimes I don't like to swear that often when I cast, but that was an absolute shit show of a fight, right? How do they chrono like that and then just still end up winning the fight? It's unbelievable to me. Like, I don't know what he was aiming for, or whether he thought like the Wyvern was coming or what. But the fact that Zitrax dies in that fight as well means that like there's no damage coming through.
Yeah, I think like he was going for some 200 IQ chrono into an Innovis Winter Wyvern, or somebody maybe TPing in there, because technically somebody could have been landing on the spot, because they picked one guy up with the lasso, and then right after is he's Thug throwing a chrono into nothingness. But still, like the way they controlled the fight, Entaki taking a 1 versus 2 duel and still being fine with it, while Skylark is just hunting the supports down and finally reuniting with the team to finish off the kills and killing the Terrorblade that early. I think that was the key.
Oh, there's a Wyvern here. It's...
Wild Wyvern has been spotted here. And look at that, 2.8 second cooldown on Skewer. Is he gonna finish off the kill with it? No, that would have been.
He actually skewered though when he didn't have Ags in his inventory because he was shrining, he took it out. So
Yep.
I was like, why does Skewer have a cooldown?
Yeah. And with that Blink Dagger too, he's just so mobile. I want to look at the last hit. He's got the same amount of farm as the Terrorblade does.
Oh, they didn't get both the outposts.
Yeah, they are really swapping around on the map. This time, XP denied from Singularity. And at Finem are they're showing signs of life once again. It's been a while, but I'm kind of glad, I'm kind of happy they are, because you know I always like to build a proper story for every series. I'm liking what's happening here. Obviously not biased, but
No,
you gotta have a good story. You need some drama. DNC will fall.
I don't know what he's doing down there. Probably just trying to cut a wave or something. I'm not sure, but...
And there goes the outpost that they just got. The Zitrax picks up more armor. I don't think he really needs it. He's got some really good items in his inventory. Ring of Aquila, once again. He's got the double Wraith Band from Vambrace. But
Yeah,
no
and-
Scotty.
I mean, he has to go BKB this game before Skadi is the problem. But even then, it's not even a great BKB game. Like, it's just because of the Bat Rider and the Lina. He's kind of forced to.
They're looking for the Wyvern. They see the Wyvern exactly where he is. Right-click him down, maybe. Just that damage is stupendous. Wyvern will die, and Taki's already chasing the next target. And oh no, I don't even see that Zitrax was initiated on. They didn't even use the chrono. Just bash into bash and minus armor using the damage from Lina.
But this Razor just feels so lackluster both games. Like, yeah, I know they won last game, but the Razor felt like it's just hard all game, right? And now, like, you've got these tempo heroes like the Mag and the Batrider doing, like, playing the map and actually able to do things. This Razor just like runs around, farms a little bit. I really hope they don't put, like, well, I hope they don't put as much priority on it next game, because they're 10k net worth behind that. I'm just making assumptions at this point.
Yeah, it looks like they've learned how to play it against the Razor. And he's been deprived of kills. He's only been a part of 3 kills as well, with 3 assists. You can actually take a quick glimpse at the kills and death statistics. Nobody's really having a fantastic game except for the Magnus, maybe. 3-1-8 on En-VODs. And just so you guys know, at Finem, which has always been a Greek team, En-VODs is Swedish. So he's my my rival neighbor.
I think he's an honorary Greek now, though.
I guess. I mean, if he manages to pull a fat Finem into the next round, then definitely, yeah.
Batrider has a gem now, by the way. This is a really good pickup. When you're ahead as you are, like, look where Dire are. They're just stuck in their base, and this is because of the power of the gem. Like, it just takes away all their vision.
Outposts are once again in the hands of that Finem. And they have now managed to score a 12,000 gold lead. And look at that. We landed a chrono, boys. But it's instantly put a heal onto the Legion Commander, so he will stay alive a bit longer. Dazzle being chased by the Razor. The RP used onto the Terrorblade, but it's not looking too good for Finem here, because they've used the RP, they've used their chrono, and this time they're deprived of kills. Thug is trying to make his way out.
On the duel!
And he will instantly get dueled, but as the Aegis gone, that's a duel victory for the LC. I don't think Skylar can really do much to do here. And En-VODs just moving people away. Actually, Wyvern is dropping low. Wyvern will fall down with the lasso used. Has to Joe. Another one down. Double kill for Thug. Excalibur and Zitrax, the BKB has been popped as well. And Thug just manages to jump out with only 100 HP. And Zitrax trying to give a little chase here. Might have extended a bit too far. Welcome into the hands of the Magnus here. The skewer back onto the high ground. And now Zitrax tries to make his way out, waiting for DNC. Force me down. No, actually, let's just fight here on the high ground right away, because Excalibur is with us. It's a 4v3 fight, and I think that it's finally come to a close. Skylark is still chasing DNZ, slowing him down with a napalm. Nature's Prophet ulti does a bit of damage, and En-VODs, yeah, it just grabs DNZ and goodbye NP. Can we call Magnus the new Final Destination movie?
Dude, this hero is so annoying to watch and play against. Like, why is it a thing? I just don't understand.
Right now is winning them the game. I understand why Magnus has been banned a lot. There's the Lincoln pop, really well by Aina, following up with the ultimate. Now a lot of people are showing up here, and he's just gonna take away Zitrax, but he is tanky, but is he tanky enough? Another push. Oh, he's gonna take him all the way back to the shrine. They don't have TPs available in the team, however, Zitrax is dead! What the hell is happening here? En-VODs survives the Winter's Curse and runs away from 4 Singularity heroes. And with the help of MNT, they kill the TB with just the 2 of them. Skewers and Laguna Blades. This is like straight out of a horror movie.
Zitrax says, don't worry guys, I'll get in front of the skewer so that even if he skewers away, we can kill him off. He's like, and skewers happen again, and he's like, guys, skewer happens a 3rd time. Guys, you need to help me still. And all of a sudden, you're just on their half of the map.
I don't know, Mofar, but I feel like I'm in shock right now.
Yeah,
what I'm witnessing.
It's bonkers.
Yeah. You took the words straight out of my mouth. Thug has a Chronosphere available. RP is available. Lasso is available. And it was looking pretty good for Singularity when they took that previous engagement.
I think the biggest thing for Finem of this game is that Lina has Ags coming out on the courier. Like, when you're playing against this TB who with the low HP pool, and you have a pure damage, like, what is it, 1,000 damage nuke or something?
Yep.
1,050 damage at the moment. Yeah, this team loses half its health. Yeah, a spell. Well, armor doesn't do anything for you against pure damage, unfortunately, Zisrax. So, suck it up. Spy the legs as well, just in case you needed to be more mobile on Mag.
Spider legs. Alright. It's not like he's breaking trees already with Skewer.
No, true. Wyvern has an Orchid, by the way, so could be a key pickup. They're trying to find Spartan here.
See Aina. There's the lasso. All the Wyvern all the way back to the very hands of the Finem crew. Curse has been used on Lina, and that's a very crucial part of how they might be holding their high ground. He's gone for 50 seconds, so once he's up, there's still a 20-second cooldown on his ultimate. 5 versus 4 at Finem.
Wyvern can't make that play. Like, he's the most important part. I feel like I've said that about every Wyvern.
Here we go again. Welcome to the roller coaster, Carl. Magnus. Thug gets a kill on Hastajo. The Chrono on the Terror Blade. And that Lina finger. It wipes out the Terror Blade. They are weak as paper right now, the hands of the Finem crew. Excalibur pops his BKB, but he doesn't really do anything with it. And Skylark is just trying to harass Hastajo. Knows that Singularity have nothing to respond to all this aggression. The glyph has been used as well.
Radiant have fortified their towers.
Oh, he took the reverse Polaris. So if he can find a big one here, it's a 4.7 second 5-star.
Oh boy, Hastajo pushed backwards. And it just does the stun. Good usage of the 4-staff here. Singularity are able to fend off.
Here, they have lasso.
Yeah, they have lasso. Who do they want to get?
Oh,
what? What a timing on the silence! But there's the RP, nevertheless, connecting on the Razor and the LC. The Winter's Curse, and Magnus is gone. So even with the RP used, now Thug is trying to throw in some right clicks. He's sprouted in the trees. He jumps out quickly though. Finem managed to clean out Hastajo with the Laguna Blade, and BNC trying to give it a little bit of a chase here. The Sprout won't quite connect onto the Spartan. And MNT makes his way out, but Skylark, is he going to be as lucky? First staff available, gets out, blink in 1 second. And reach up for Thug. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
They have to respect the Wyvern when they, like, every time they take a fight. Battle Rider just blinks in, gets Orchid, all of a sudden Mag jumps in, tries to initiate, gets cursed. Like, this guy knows what his job is.
Did you see how fast the Wyvern Orchided the blinking Batrider?
Yeah, he precast it on the Batrider.
Yeah, it felt like he was just clicking Orchid in front of his face with quick cast.
Like, if you just, as soon as, if you click the Orchid on him when you see him before, and then when he blinks in,
and you're facing towards him, it will target him when he gets there. Yeah. Smart. Being chased by Excalibur. There's a courier flying. Parts of the Satanic are on it.
Oh, they're not gonna find it though.
Yeah, just need
I really hate when people do this. Why does Thug have Satanic components instead of having buyback up?
Living on the edge. 20,000 gold, Leon, having no buyback. Could actually take a look at the buyback status. 3 people don't have it. Magnus, Void, and the LC. So 2 of the biggest cores on that Finem don't have buyback right now.
They're gonna smoke here though, on the Radiant side, I think. Oh, do they have one? I don't think they do actually. Yeah, no, they do. Okay, they do. Yeah, I mean, Mag's picked up a Lotus Orb now. So
the NT. And once again, well-placed sentry down on the ground. So in Nature's Prophet will be gone. Roshan is also up in 35 seconds, so that is something that Finem have their eyes on. If they don't have the buybacks, they at least need to get the Aegis.
Yeah, they definitely do. It's if you get the Aegis on the Void, right, even if he messes up Chrono or anything, the only way he dies is a Winter's Curse, right? So if he has the Aegis, I don't see him dying twice ever, especially with this Satanic.
Yeah. Also, the last time he had the Aegis, the LC dueled him, and then the teammates just followed up. They lassoed one guy out. And I'm not sure if they even had the RP available there, but En-VODs was able to escape. That was the fight that happened in the bottom shrine somewhere here.
Okay.
And they had the Aegis there, so they got a dual victory for LC, but that's all they got.
And if you thought Skew wasn't stupid enough, he gets a talent that makes it longer, by the way. I didn't mention that earlier, but it's so ridiculous.
Roshan is up, and Finem are heading straight towards the Roshan pit, while Singularity, they are afraid inside their own base. They're just going to have to forfeit this. They have been sitting on the high ground for quite some time, and Finem has always been around. So with all that so-called fear or presence of fear, however you want to put it, you can correct me, Mofara, how you would properly say it. But that gave them so much map control that they can take Roshan completely uncontested.
Yeah, I mean, they're not in a position to fight at the moment on Dire. 25k net worth behind. You know, what are they... The problem I see is, what are they waiting for that makes their fights easier? And I just don't know what the answer is. Like, this Legion's not even a hero. He's bottom of net worth. Like, what is he supposed to be doing in this game? He just has lots of aura items and lots of armor.
Yep. I think this is a very appropriate moment here, as the fight's not brewing yet. You might want to check out Gosu AI on how Magnus is doing. What's the win rate on this hero? Learn some Magnus strats or whatever. Go and check out the link under the stream. See if you can get those victories under your belt as well. Well, let's get back in here. And Taki just being a bit cocky here on the high ground. So he risking himself back down.
Did he get a ward down? Yeah, he got a ward down when he skewed in. That's why.
Yeah.
Somebody put
Smart.
a ward down.
Thug has a Satanic, and now they're casting the Lincolns and the Lotus Orb in turns on him, so they can use a turnaround. And here goes the lasso. They've got the Razor. Ada gets Chronos feared, but a perfect Chrono this time, and the forced buybacks are coming in at Finem. They need to quickly disengage from this. As Zitrax has Metamorph, they've used everything. Singularity, they need to get this fight going.
And they've got ENZ coming in from the back as well.
And Excalibur has his ultimate popped as well. They find Sea Spartan and the double man RP, and they're being in trouble here. Magnus is dealing a lot of damage, so is the Void, and they take down one. Thug is on a godlike spree now with Zitrax. He's got a BKB, a Manta, and a Sunder, but who does he use it on? He wants to use it on Thug. He will use it now. Nature's Prophet getting stunned by M&T as well. But meanwhile, Itaki is just being a nuisance with his skewer on the right side of the fight, and still the BKB is available on the Terribly. He has to use it now, and he will. Thug is right-clicking him down. The stun, the triple kill. Thug, an absolute madman. He takes the challenge, and Singularity have to tap out. Mofara, game 3, once again, by Finem.
I mean, these guys, they know how to come back. They're no scrubs. They've been around for a long time.